What's up guys, welcome back. Welcome to the review of an absolute gem of a game, Atelier Ryza 2, Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy. Easily the single best Atelier game in a long lineup of games. If you've missed out on the first Atelier Ryza, be sure to check out the complete guide to Atelier Ryza. And if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. And here we go. Atelier Ryza 2, Lost Legends and the Secret Fairy picks up 3 years after the conclusion and unfortunate breakup of our merry band of adventure seekers. Thankfully, the developers inserted a short recap of the main events leading up to our current point in time. In Ryza's new adventure, she is summoned to the big city to help out her childhood friend and resident brainiac, Tao, who has found himself in the midst of myths and legends and to find answers to a rather curious object handed to her. She is quite positively overwhelmed by the enormity of the city and its bustling streets, but finds comfort with Tao and fellow islander Bose. After getting acquainted with the young aristocrat Patricia, she once again settles in her new atelier, bigger and better than ever before. And I do dig that cauldron. Being the ever-clever student, Tao is on the trail of legends revolving around one or more ruins surrounding the big city, which eventually leads to all the adventure one could ever dream of. Whilst exploring the first proper dungeon, Ryza discovers there is a link between the ruins, her mystical object, which shines ever brighter, and a bewildering artifact picked up along the way. Soon enough though, that mysterious object hatches into a rather obscure creature she then calls Fee. During her time in the big city, she runs into all sorts of people, new and old, including the once shy girl Claudia, treasure hunter Clifford, and thankfully we see a return of fellow alchemist Ample and warrior lady Lila. As the game is pretty much fresh on the market, I don't want to divulge too much of the story and potentially spoil the fun for you guys. Atelier Ryza 2 features familiar story-based adventuring, yet breaks away from literally every Atelier game released up to this point, where movement was restricted to walking, running and jumping. In effect, it has become a full-fledged adventure game, not unlike Breath of the Wild. In terms of movement, you can now go about as you please, walking, running, jumping, sliding, crawling, sneaking, climbing, swimming on the surface, and once you've successfully synthesized an airdrop used for underwater breathing, you can even take a dive, revealing beautiful underwater worlds with unique ingredients to find. Another big gain in this respect is the option of riding a spirit beast, something you'll unlock along the way. Riding your big companion allows you to travel faster and gain access to exclusive ingredients by digging, both of which are dependent on the synthesized quality of the spirit beast's whistle used to summon our quadruped companion. This time around it has become easier to navigate through the different gathering tools, and before you pick up the spoils, it is shown what you can expect to gain. There's also a separate section for additional adventure tools like the emerald band used to cross big gaps, the fishing rod, the spirit beast whistle, etc, etc. A big focus in this game is the way ruins are explored. A completely new feature makes its debut. Once you've entered a ruin, you'll have to find specific items stored away in giant treasure chests. Once you've retrieved all of them, your special compass starts working its magic and will reveal the locations of ruin fragments, memory fragments, and ruined crystals as you make your way through the mazes. As you interact with these fragments, you make journal entries and you'll have to puzzle the fragments into their proper location in the journal. Very nicely done this. Because of the way this puzzle mechanic is set up, you'll be more attentive whilst going through the dungeons by using your sensor map and regular map, all the while reading up on the history of these lands. All of this makes going about an absolute thrill as you discover new areas, meet people, included those from beyond the grave, come across a variety of enemies, open up treasure chests, teleport your way around, and work your way through the ancient ruins. Where Atelier Ryza 1 featured a strong main story and countless side quests, Atelier Ryza 2 goes above and beyond, featuring a nice main story along with related side stories. You can pick up numerous requests, either in person or by visiting the bulletin board over in the student cafe, which is a rather interesting return to earlier Atelier games. By fulfilling the requests, you build up your reputation among the diverse denizens of the city and get access to even more and more rewarding requests. A mainstay in Atelier Ryza is the character-specific questing to gain active and passive skills during combat. Another aspect of Ryza 2 which has been reworked to great effect is the interaction with merchants. This time around you'll find trade-specific merchants in the different parts of the city relative to their profession. What's more is that you can now sell stuff exclusively at Romies, whom we met as an aspiring merchant back on Kirken Island. By doing so, you'll upgrade the quality and quantity of available goods. A very nice mechanic. And thankfully the option of remodeling your atelier has been carried over nicely, allowing you to buy stuff from merchants and gain bonuses depending on the type of makeover. In addition to this, you can now freely decorate your place after gaining some cute ornaments. A core feature in Atelier games is the synthesizing system, which, once again, has been revamped. This time around, every material has several required loops, after which other slots open up if conditions are met. In contrast to earlier games where you could only learn new recipes by acquiring recipe books or by exploring known recipes and keep adding new materials to them, in this game you'll have a third option by opening up skills and recipes in the skill menu. In all fairness, I don't necessarily think this is a benefit though, as it somewhat muddies the water, but at the very least it shows the constant drive for pushing the limits from a developer's perspective. That aside, thankfully we see a return of the gem reduction and item rebuilding processes, as well as the multiply cauldron once unlocked, used to duplicate your crafted items. The option to reinforce your weaponry though has been taken out of the atelier, something which can now only be done at Dennis's shop, the friendly local blacksmith. The battle system too has seen some significant upgrades to an already solid gameplay mechanic. This time the fights are faster, as you can now chain your skill moves in quick succession to dish out some serious damage in short bursts of time. These skill moves still require AP points, which you'll gain by successfully landing attacks, as well as pulling off successful perfect guarding moves. Of course, the kick-ass action orders are still there as well, allowing you to team up on your enemies big and small. Your party still consists of 3 active members, but in Ryza 2, you can now add 1 support character if your party is big enough, allowing you to swap characters while in battle to great effect. And lastly, even the items can be chained together, allowing you to heal up, boost your stats and dish out damage, all without the enemy being able to interject. As a cherry on top, longtime fans of the series and early adopters are rewarded by some cool additional costume sets. If you have a save game of the first Atelier Ryza on your system, you can dress the characters in the very same clothing from that first game. And for a limited time, you can download the summer themed clothing from the eShop for all of your party members. And at the time of recording, the first update to Ryza 2 has already gone live, featuring some more stuff for you to go through. And on that note guys, I am signing off. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed today's roller coaster ride, and if you have, be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment in the section down below. And I will see you next time.